Taiwan.
Oh, so I see a theme here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get a boyfriend, move to the country
yeah.
he wants to be in.
We didn't know Rush was going to be playing.
No, that's what I heard. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
I always have this feeling about halfway through that I didn't push record on the phone. And I can't see. I need a red light here. Oh, thank God. All right. Welcome to the Blue Couch. Have a seat. Wait, you're already sitting.
I am.
All right, see? She's ahead of the game. This time I wore Beatles socks. Last time I wore blue socks for the Blue Couch. And this time...
I'm just wearing black socks. Now
well,
I feel
that's okay. I mean, nobody told you. My people didn't call you?
No, our people are... We should fire all the people.
Everybody's out. That's it. Actually, I'm going to move this too. I don't really need it. I'm going to put it way over there. Okay. Now it's on the floor. Yeah, actually, I got these in Liverpool at the Beatles store.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So that's the legitimate Beatles paraphernalia.
Yeah, totally. Came in like this box that had the Beatles, like all that funky artwork. It was pretty cool. So let's talk, first things first, your band got nominated for a Juno.
Yes.
Secondhand Dream Car.
Secondhand Dream Car, yes.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, what a trip. Getting nominated was a trip. Going there for the awards, which was just a weekend or two ago, that was also a trip.
Yeah.
It was all a trip.
That is amazing. It was a whirlwind. Mm-hmm. What was the funnest part? Probably seeing some of the shows? We didn't see, because Juno Fest goes on at the same time as the Junos, and that's where lots of bands are playing and stuff. Okay.
The thing itself, like the awards show, there are actually 2 award shows, because
Right.
they give out the majority of the awards the first night at this kind of gala banquet, which is not, it's live streamed, but it's not televised.
Yeah.
And they have some performances at that, and then obviously the big TV broadcast on the Sunday.
Yeah, because we saw awards being, like, you guys had, quote unquote, not won before the big broadcast. And I was like,
right.
Oh, what? So I was confused.
Yeah, like they give out 40 awards on the Saturday night before, and then they give out, I don't know, like maybe 10 or 15 or 20 or something on the so they give out most of them the night before, where it's not,
right.
It's like a very long banquet where they bring you your meal courses very spaced out so that people don't get too antsy, because it was 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah.
But you were there for Rush.
We didn't know Rush was going to be playing.
No, that's what I heard. Nobody knew.
Nobody knew. I think, it was a surprise, because they were advertising some of the other acts that were playing. And so, they opened up the show on Sunday. And I was sitting beside Jamie, our drummer, who spent his high school years drumming along to Rush.
Of course he did.
He lost his mind.
Yeah.
It was,
I mean, Geddy, I feel like he should, sorry, buddy. I feel like he should get like a really great singer out front, because they have a great drummer. Mm-hmm. That girl is, I forget her name. Right now.
It escapes me. But she was amazing. Totally
She's
amazing.
incredible. Yeah, I mean, I saw her when they announced it. I peeped her on, I think I follow her on Instagram. It's just hard to keep track of who you follow and who you don't. But I heard her and I was like, oh yeah, she's going to do a capital job with this.
Oh yeah.
And I saw the footage and it was great. But I remember seeing Jethro Tull back in the day, and I saw them twice it was probably the late 80s, 90s. And the first time, Ian's voice was great. Mm-hmm. The band was amazing. The show, I could tell you the whole story, but it was like Shakespeare meets rock and roll. They had these little skits, and it was hilarious.
Wow.
I'll tell you one quick one. At one point, the drummer comes out from back behind the kit, and he's got a violin that has a long coily cable on it. Clearly, he's not playing. The keyboard player was playing like this classical, and he's playing, and then the singer's like, "What are you doing, mate?" And he goes, "I want to play violin." He goes, "Get back behind the drums." And he yells at him. And he goes, and he throws the violin down and mopes off the stage back to the drums. It was hilarious. It was stuff like this all night.
So English too, sounds like.
Totally British. And then I saw them a couple years later, and Ian's voice was, it sounded like maybe he just had laryngitis, but it sounded pretty much like, bro,
it's
he
so
probably
tricky
shouldn't be singing.
with aging voices. It's tricky, it'd be hard for someone to, who could replace Geddy Lee, but voices are, you can't, it's like keeping up vocal chops is not the same with aging as keeping up other kinds of chops.
It's not, although there are some people, have you heard Glenn Hughes? He's in his 70s and he can sing high B on the guitar, the bonkers.
Right. I mean, some people are.
Some people are lucky.
I
think it's clean living too. Well, Glenn was not, but he is now. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Right.
And then Trevor Rabin out of Yes, he made a record when he was 69, and he's touring it now, and he's in his 70s, and his voice is clear as a bell. But this guy is super straight edge, and
it's tricky when someone is like a full balls to the wall rock singer, because it's like, think about, like, do you know Dan Penn? He was like one of the Muscle Shoals songwriters back in the day.
Oh,
and
I know the name.
Like he released some albums when he was younger, but he was like one of the main Muscle Shoals guys, and like he wrote Do Right Woman, you know, like he wrote all these songs we all know. And he still performs sometimes, and he will just do it with an acoustic guitar, and he's in his mid-70s, but his singing voice is just beautiful, you know. It's the beautiful voice of a 74-year-old man, you know, like it is like what it is. Like, but if you're Geddy Lee, and like what it is like this like full-on rock singing,
he
that's
used to
tricky, you
go,
know?
and he probably didn't treat himself great when they were on the road, and night, like you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, just night after night, night after night, and that
shit's for the young.
No, I feel for him, because I love him so much, and the band. But that was cool that you saw that. What an experience.
That was cool. And it was cool to see Joni Mitchell get her Lifetime Achievement Award, just to be there for that, you know.
Wow. What a moment.
Yeah, and she just, to me, she didn't make a very long speech, but she just, the impression I got from the whole thing was like, wow, she's like a happy old lady, and I was just happy to see that.
That's incredible. Yeah, she, my buddy plays with Sarah McLaughlin? I always say McLaughlin?
Yeah.
I always forget. Anyway, Matt Starr on drums, and he has a picture, because they played one of her songs, right? And were they the house band for some of the Joni songs?
They did. Well, they did a Joni medley.
There you go.
They did like River and
Yeah.
Big Yellow Taxi, stuff like that.
Yeah, he posted a picture of him, the whole band, and Joni in the middle, and I just texted him personally straight away, and I was like, dude, wow, that is incredible. And I'm so happy for him. He's such a good dude and a fantastic drummer. He got us tickets when they were at Rogers late last year, and wow, talk about a strong voice. I had no idea. I knew her hits, but I didn't know the scope and range of her vocals, sort of, from the hits, but just the range of music she plays, and this classical element, and everyone in the band that sang beautifully. She's got this utility woman, I'm going to forget her name now, who was a monster, just played telly, bass, acoustic, sang perfect blend with her, and stratospheric. Yeah, and then they had another girl that had recently joined that was also electric guitar, acoustic guitar, bass, and vocals. And then her lead guitar player sings harmony. Yeah, it was fabulous. Everyone crushed it. But enough about them, more about you. I was reading your bio on your site. Interesting past. Like, wow. Taiwan? How did you end up cutting your teeth in Taiwan?
It was an accident. You know, it's like, you can't possibly know that Taiwan is going to be the perfect place to go to like actually learn how to play music. Like, you wouldn't think that. But so when I was 17, I moved to Edmonton from Saskatchewan to do theater school. I studied musical theater. And then when I graduated from that, I worked professionally in that world for a few years, like here in Edmonton, doing like musicals and plays and stuff. But then I started somehow, I had this kind of weird kind of epiphany moment where like I saw some of my fellow theater people who also kind of wrote songs and played acoustic guitars were doing this gig at a coffee shop, and I kind of witnessed them singing their own songs. And I was like 20 or 21, and I just went, I have to do that. And I had never.
Why am I doing covers?
Well, I was doing musical theater. I wasn't even.
Oh, right. You were just in the school part. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had never before thought of writing songs. Like, I'd never written a song. But I just, in that moment, I was like, I have to do that. And so my focus kind of moved over to music from theater. And then when I started meeting musicians, like going to open mics and stuff, I was like, oh, actually, these are my people. Like, actors are not my people. Musicians are my people.
Right. And so, the musical theater thing is a whole nother jam.
Yeah, it was like,
I mean, the chops and the musicality are off the charts.
Oh, theater people work so hard. They work so much harder than musicians, you know, like that's
really, yeah.
But like as soon as I met other musicians, I was like, oh, this is my tribe, 100%, you know? So I don't know, circumstance meant that when I wanted to make that transition to being a musician, it's like, I knew I wanted to be like a singer-songwriter. It was like kind of the beginning of the time where it was like the major record labels are all kind of, it's not really happening anymore. Like
what year was that?
we're all, it was like 2001.
Yeah, they were starting the like Napster and
yeah. So the whole thing of becoming a musician, it was like, I'm not going to be trying to like get a record deal. I'm going to be an independent, like it was the beginning of the era of independent musicians, you know?
Even more so, yeah.
Yeah, and so I thought I should save up some money. And my boyfriend at the time had taught English in Taiwan before that. And he was really pushing to go back there. And so I thought, well, yeah. And also there's something about the theater scene here at the time that I was like, I got to get out of here. Like it was a series of factors that just led to, it's like, well, let's go to Taiwan. And like, and the deal was supposed to be like, just try to save some money.
Right.
And like teach English, you know?
Wow.
So I moved to Taiwan, and I wasn't very good at teaching English to Taiwanese kids because, you know, the parents there really liked a disciplinarian kind of approach, you know, like, and I can't really do that. So I wasn't very good at it. I didn't really like it very much, but I found I was able to get work doing like voiceover work for English instructional magazines and things like that, and even acting work, because they would make these little videos with English dialogue, and they would need actors to come and do. So and then I was getting like suddenly music gigs, like doing weird corporate things where like they just want you to really just be white on stage for 15 minutes and they'll pay you like lots of money, you know?
Yeah,
like,
on your bio it says bizarre corporate gigs. Like, and so that's what that was?
Yeah. Like I remember I did a gig for Johnny Walker one time, and I had to do all these, they had me do songs that were kind of themed with the different colors of the different labels of Johnny Walker. And they liked that so much that they then got me to come in for the Asia Vice President's birthday party and sing My Way for him, which was his favorite song. Like, just like the weirdest.
That's out there. You know? I love it.
But like also, besides all the corporate gigs, I also got in with this expat scene of all these people that just like love to play music. And they, you know, it's like, as an English teacher in Taiwan, you could, like, it paid well enough that you could work like 15 hours a week, and that was enough to live on. So it was very attractive to people that like to play music or like make films or write, because you have a lot of time to do that stuff that you want to do. Right. So there were lots of musicians around and lots of bands. And so I played in like bluegrass bands and like jug bands and like, and I, you know, it's like, I needed to do that because when I started writing songs, I had grown up playing piano, but I really only knew how to like read the music. Like, you know, I grew up doing Royal Conservatory and reading notes on a page. Correct. So I had to learn how to play by ear, which I didn't know how to do at all. Amazing. I didn't even play guitar yet at all. So it was like I had to learn how to play. And that is wild. In Taiwan, there was lots of opportunity and the bar was not that high. So it was not like I wasn't good enough to participate. Right. So,
and then you just got better and better because you were high reps.
High reps, yeah. Exactly. And so in the end, it was like the perfect place to do all that. Like, there isn't really. If I was here, I wouldn't have had the same opportunities to just play all the time.
No, I mean, whatever it was worked. It worked because you your songwriting is bonkers. If you guys don't know, you should check out The Earth. What is it?
The Earth That You're Made Of.
The Earth That You're Made Of. I keep forgetting. That's your solo record from 2017. Maybe? That's brilliant. I was just listening to it this morning. And then, of course, Secondhand Dream Car has The Calling Out, which was the Juno nominated one we were talking about. Definitely check that out. And then there's a new one in the funnel.
Yeah, out in the fall.
Yeah, so that'll be coming out. So that's going to be amazing. And then you went from there to the UK.
Yeah.
Did you touch down here?
Oh, very briefly. I was like here for a month, but I hooked up with an English guy in Taiwan.
Oh, so I see a theme here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get a boyfriend, move to the country he wants to be in. Get a different boyfriend. And then go to his country.
Yeah,
okay.
so obviously some things happened along the way in the couple of years I was in Taiwan. But yeah, I ended up...
Hopefully for the band, you don't start dating someone from Zimbabwe or something. Goodbye, dream car.
Hilarious. Yeah, ain't life funny? But yeah, so this English guy that we actually played in a band together in Taiwan. Like he played with me on my original stuff.
Oh, nice.
And we were just kind of friends. And then, something started to happen. And then he decided that he was going to move back to England.
Right.
And so it's kind of funny because I had saved up a good chunk of money, and I had always wanted to live in New York City. That had always been my dream because I grew up in a small town in Saskatchewan.
Of course.
And I loved big cities. Like I felt much more at home in big cities always than in small towns. So I thought, okay, I've saved up all this money. I'm going to go live in New York City and just see what happens. And in, whatever the intervening time was, I ended up kind of falling in love with this Englishman. And instead of moving to New York City upon leaving Taiwan, I ended up living in this tiny little English village,
Where, which one?
Kings Cliff. It's
That
in
one I
Northeast
don't know.
Northamptonshire.
Okay.
No, it's it's in a fairly obscure part of the country, like kind of between Leicester and Cambridge, sort of, I guess.
Yeah.
Like in what they call the East Midlands.
Yep, heard of that. Now, how long did you stay there?
Was there solidly for 2 or 3 years, and then we were back and forth between Canada and the UK a lot for the next few years after that. So.
And then you toured around. You formed a band, and did he played in the band?
Yep.
And then you said something about of course, the good old Ford Transit.
Yeah, we had a Ford Transit that we bought off a plumber.
Amazing.
And we drove that around. At the time, Jez, my boyfriend at the time, he didn't have a license. So I was our driver, driving around on the left side of the road with the stick shift, like.
I've done that. And the first time that Daff and I went over and had to do that, I was actually really nervous because my dad had taken us to England on a family trip. Like when my sister graduated, we took a trip. And then when I graduated high school, we took another 2-week family trip. So when she graduated, it was England, and we spent a week in London and then a week driving through the Cotswolds and all that. Yeah, and I've since been back. But I remember my dad had a really tough time. It was almost exactly like the movie European Vacation. We got stuck on the roundabout. Now, it wasn't like 4 hours, but the second time we came around, or third time we came around, he goes, all right, so which way do I go this time? And I go, well, you went right last time, so go left. And he goes, no one likes a smartass. He starts yelling at me. And finally, we get off the roundabout, and then he clips a guy's mirror and breaks it. And we stop in the middle of teeming traffic, and the guy hops out, and it was just like the movie. My dad goes, I'm so sorry. He goes, oh, you're a Yank? Don't worry about it. It's hard to drive here. And
wow.
And we were on our way, and it was hilarious. But I thought, this is going to be tough. But aside from if you suddenly need to make a move, you might grab the door for the for the stick because you're in panic mode.
Yeah.
But shifting with your left was fine.
Yeah.
Unbelievably. Thank goodness the pedals are in the same order. If those were reversed or something, it'd be a non-starter. I don't think anyone could do it.
But it all kind of works because everything's reversed. It's like everything in the car is backwards, and so it feels natural to be on the opposite side of the road.
Correct.
It was for me too, it was much easier than I thought.
Yes.
Although very intense.
Very intense.
When I first moved there, within a week or so, we drove from the East Midlands down to the West Country, Somerset, to see a friend for the solstice, and like a hippie traveler friend. We were around, quite close to Stonehenge, actually. It was all that kind of thing. And so it was I asked Jez, because I was going to be driving. I said, well, how long's the drive? He said, about 2.5 hours. I was like, oh God, piece of cake, in Canada,
Wrong.
I'm used to the 5-6 hour drives.
On a dead straight
freeway.
But
so we're going and going and going, and it's just it's roundabout and roundabout. And I was like, when are we going to get to the highway? It was like that all the way. You're just on. So by the time the 2.5 hours was up and we were there, I was done. It was like having driven an 8-hour day.
Yeah, and then the narrow streets. Hi, Maynard. Do you want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Okay, bub. Yeah, the narrowness. Like,
Oh yeah, that too.
So the last 2 times I've been in the UK, I made a detour. I was a big Top Gear fan, the British motoring show, and so Jeremy Clarkson now owns a farm in the Cotswolds, and he has a farm shop, and he brews his own beer. So all the things. And I was on my way up both times to see the band Elbow. Funny, I mentioned them in the first podcast. You guys need to pay me. But we headed to like the Manchester area. Let's see, where does Paul live? Sheffield. So we were headed up that way, but it's really just like a quick hour detour, go out to the farm, get a pint, have some food, hopefully see him. Of course, he's never around when I'm there. But one of these times. But it's those narrow roads with the stone
The stone walls alongside them.
and you feel like you're going to break them, and or you're way too close, and then a lorry's coming the other way, and you're just like, you know, you just.
And English people drive so fast on those little roads because they're so used to it.
Yeah, because it's their, they've never left wherever that area is. And so they're like, going to London for them is a freak out. So but returning the car in London, that's bonkers. London and Paris are the craziest places I've driven. Paris was just, you pull up to a red light and all of the spaces between the cars fill up with scooters.
Oh, that's
and then
like
you're
Taiwan.
Like, oh, great. Oh yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same, yeah.
I would imagine Taiwan's even more, because people in Paris sort of follow lanes. I'm going to guess in Taiwan, there's no lane markers and lanes don't matter.
No, I mean, lanes sort of matter for cars.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a free-for-all. And then for scooters, there's no...
Yeah, there's no
But they do
rules.
one cool thing at the traffic lights in Taiwan. There's like right behind the stop line, there's like a box that's just for scooters.
Oh.
It's for the scooters to gather, in
can
front of
gather
us, because they're going to do
there.
that. When all the cars are
gonna
stopped at the
scatter.
red light, and they kind of go through all the cars, and then they go into the box. Because the way scooters take a left turn is when the light turns green, they just go straight into the box over here, and then wait for the opposite light to turn green, so they don't
it's
have to
a whole
actually make
thing.
a left.
Oh,
because
much
that would
easier.
be chaos.
Yeah.
So they have
I mean,
ways of managing their
you've seen
particular
that
kind of
footage from
chaos.
India where everyone seems to be going, and they always speed it up to make it look more bonkers, but it is hectic. It's like everyone is like threading the needle and somehow going between each other just by
somehow it
chance.
works.
Well, that's amazing. So 2 foreign countries, and then came back here, and what I love how the bio says, to give herself a break, she went back to school.
Yeah, well, that's
not a
true,
break.
because I mean, not only was it like several years of like living in foreign countries and then in England being pretty itinerant. We lived with Jez's parents for most of the time that we were there, but we drove around a lot. And again, it was sort of the kind of crucible of playing too, like that. It was in Taiwan that I got those first like building up my chops, and it was in England that like
refined
it, and I was doing my own stuff
and writing a lot.
Because I had time to write, because I had that money that I'd saved up in Taiwan, and so we did. This
amazing.
was like just driving around, and we were like, it was like 2005, and so it was pre-Facebook. It was kind of when MySpace was briefly a thing, but mostly how we were getting gigs was just like calling up pubs in like ever widening circles around where we lived and saying like, do you have bands? And even if they didn't, saying, well, would you? Because we have our own PA and we can bring it. And like, that's how we got gigs, and we drove around and played for like years.
And back then, if you played one place and then called back, they'd be like, oh yeah, mate, come by.
Yeah, we had our regular places.
Because now, I mean, there's so many, we've all seen those reels, especially if you're a musician, your feed is filled with reels like this where, it says booking a gig in 2025, and it's really true. It'll be like the same person doing both roles, those kind of comedy videos. But the guy will be like, yeah, we're coming through Seattle. We'd love to play at your bar. Oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Then 4 months go by. 4 months later, and then you email them back and they're like, oh, what was your band again? And you just, I get it. Club owners are so inundated now. It's incredible to rise above and be able to sustain something. I mean, even the time that you're talking about, when you were cutting your teeth, I was doing that in LA. So I moved out there in 99. No, what am I saying? 96, end of 96 into 97. And by the time, 98, 99, and 2000 rolled around, I was in, it was that thing. Just be in every band you can, from terrible bands or solo singer-songwriters that were not great, and just white-knuckling through, duo sets with them, trying to make them sound good, to great bands. And this one guy, Nikhil, that I played with, it was like post Dave Matthews thing. He really was influenced by him. And so we had a sax player, but we had electric guitar, and we did a lot of like African tinged, just those kind of grooves with the high, like these kind of guitar lines. And we would roll through a place where the last 2 times, we had built something up, and then you roll through the next time and Warren Haynes is playing in the theater, and it's like, okay, well, nobody's going to come to see us.
Right.
Maybe after, but we would play this place called Moe's Tavern, and it was a destination. It was off the beaten path. It wasn't in downtown Santa Cruz. And so literally we played there one time with a 6-piece band for the front of house guy, the doorman, and the bartender.
Right. The majority of the people in the room are in the band.
Oh, way more than like twice and the whole set, not one person came in. We thought, the Warren show will end and it'll be packed in here.
Right.
Wrong again. Because wherever that amphitheater was, people are going to go right close by. And they go to the closest bar.
Right.
And guess what amphitheaters have around them? Bars. So they're not gonna pile in a car now that they've already had 3 beers at the show and drive over to Moe's. Not gonna happen. So yeah, I cut my teeth mostly doing that. I mean, Miami was a big part of it, but LA was the real, like, even more so, because I never really finished college. Come on with the barking. And but I moved to LA to be a rock star. Still working on that. I'll let you know how it's going. But it was great because I got to play hundreds of shows, and then
the quantity. That's what. Yeah, that's
and the last
key.
thing I ended up doing out there, really, before I left, I kind of gave up on the original thing because there just wasn't, not that I wouldn't have done one that had some promise or join one. And I went on cattle call auditions and did all that stuff. But before I got the gig that brought me to Canada, I was just playing in country bands, but that we did mostly real, like, the old school country, not this bro country nonsense.
Yeah.
And so I really loved it because I played in, one band was like a 6-piece, but nobody played. There were 2 acoustic guitar players, a girl, and they both sang, and then a girl singer who sort of played mandolin, but not really. She would just kind of do a chuck sometimes, and then bass and drums. So I did all the fiddle parts, all the steel parts, and it's a field day because you just, mock steel and fiddle intros, and just really super active. My chops were probably better then, even though I shed all the time now. But I don't have that thing where I'm playing 4 or 5 nights a week, because there's really nothing like that.
That's right.
To get your chops to where you want them to be. I mean, you can shed all you want, and shedding is very important. And I do it.
Yeah, I was just saying that to someone the other day. I wish, if there's anything I wish right now in my life and in Edmonton, it's that there was a place that I could go even once a week.
Right.
And just like where, like, maybe a jam where like the quality is really high, or even like a weekly gig, or just some place where I can play keyboards, where I can play piano every week with people in a gig setting. Because
let's try to figure something out. Because I've been wanting to do this exact thing.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Because for me, it's like where I feel like I'm like good enough where I can like hang with people like you is as a singer and as a front person. Like, that's what I am, but like, really, like, I can't get rid of this deep part of me that just like, I want to be as good as the best like side piano player in town. It's like, and I never will be.
You want to be able to do Rooster's gig.
Yeah, like, and I'll never get there, but like, I can't help but want to, and I always want opportunities for it.
Well, this is great because I think I might have just the right gig for you too, because I want to do eventually. People have been bugging me forever, and I actually had one rehearsal with Jamie and Rooster as a trio with organ trio, but I realized it'll be better with bass. So eventually I'm gonna make a funky soul jazz kind of Lou Donaldson, Schofield-esque.
Oh, cool.
My version of that.
Cool.
And of course, you know, every time I make some headway, I get some gig like your gig, which, you know, not complaining, but where I have to shed and prepare. And so that's my job, and I love doing that. So I'll always want to do that. And honestly, I love being the consummate sideman. I love making people sound good. I love getting inside their music, especially when you get to develop it like I am with Danita from the ground up, where I'm creating the parts, because then you watch them evolve, and as you play more gigs, things get even more refined. Someone adds a little lick and the drummer goes, oh, I'm going to catch that too. And now you have a deeper arrangement, you have some cool elements, and I mean, that's really, it's invaluable to play a lot as a band.
Yeah.
But if you want to come, because none of my stuff, I'm not going to be bebopping the New York jazz shit, because that's not my jam. It's all blues-based, funky jazz. So, you know, a few changes on the turnaround maybe, but nothing that you wouldn't just eat for breakfast. Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
you got to figure this out.
I'm game for whatever. You
Great.
know, like as long as.
We just need a venue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part in Edmonton right now. They're dropping like flies, you know?
It's a rough gig, man. Like, music is the business of music is beyond anything.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at. Like, this is something I'm posing to the guests of the Blue Couch, is like, you know, where do you see yourself heading? What do you think of AI slop? Because I have my answers for all this that will get repeated a lot on these episodes. But your thoughts on that kind of...
Oh.
Yeah. Without being
questions.
too dark.
Oh gosh, well, I'm like generally pretty anti-technology. Like Overall. So obviously...
This is the biggest piece of tech that you've had.
Yeah, exactly.
On yourself
I'm
in a
for
long
this
time.
Microphone. This seems very easy, user-friendly and handy. Innocuous.
Forgot it was there.
That's great, you know. But I think I'm just like, you know, I maybe could be convinced otherwise by someone who knew what they were talking about. But generally speaking, I'm anti-AI. Like,
yeah, me too.
I don't feel that, you know, any of the obvious, concrete, discrete benefits that there are of AI, like it can help you do like some mundane task that you don't want to spend 4 hours on. It can help you do it in a half an hour. That's fine. I get that. I don't feel that those benefits outweigh the obvious, the bad things that are already happening and the really bad things that are definitely to come. Like, and not to mention like the insane amounts of energy it takes to even run AI.
Unreal.
It's like
Well, and I heard someone say on a reel that was so great. They're like, you know, we were promised this future by the Jetsons and sci-fi where the robots do the mundane crap like the laundry and waiting in line at the DMV, and we do the creative stuff, and the exact opposite has happened.
Right.
AI gets to do all the creative stuff, and I'm still standing in line at the post office.
Yeah, because we live in a world where, I mean, everything is subject to a consumer mindset. Everything is a product, including the outcomes of creativity. So if the outcome of creativity is just a product like everything else, then of course it can be made by AI more efficiently.
But I think there's a limit. I think that I also saw some promising stuff. Keep our fingers crossed that, and this is where the record labels are actually on our side, remarkably. They're analyzing AI, and they're using AI to analyze AI songs and be able to tell, oh, you got this from Bob Seger and you got that from Led Zeppelin, and now we're gonna you can't. If you want to put this out, you have to license it.
Right.
Ha ha, won't that be the best?
Yeah.
And number two, I heard someone say, and I really love this quote, I said it in the last video, but AI is a cover band.
That's right.
If you had an AI software sitting on a computer on this table and it wasn't hooked up to the internet, it can't make a song.
Right.
Can't do anything.
Yeah, anything it can put out, it's synthesized from things that humans
Which
have
is the same
made,
as you. You took all your experiences of your life, your time in Taiwan, your heartbreaks, your ups and downs, your victories, and you did them down into these great songs. By the way, you're such a good lyricist also.
Oh,
I don't want to blow too much smoke and make you uncomfortable, but let me tell you how great you are. No. just so good. And so, of course, yeah, the AI needs the same kind of input as a human, but they're piggybacking off what all the humans have done already.
Right.
And they're just saying, okay, I can formulate that into a great sound. And I have to admit, a lot of it sounds fine, but, you know, and then what's the next step? You're going to, you know, get robots or holograms. That could be a novelty for a minute. Nobody wants to see that a lot.
Right. Well, and the fact is that, I mean, it's like, you know, we're professional musicians. We want the industry to work in a way that we can make our living, obviously. But when it comes to music at a basic level, it's like, it's not like music is a thing that needs to get made so it can be sold and we can remove ourselves from that equation because computers can do it more efficiently and better. It's like music is a way that humans are human. If people aren't going to stop making music. We don't write songs and make music so that a song exists. We do it because we
our
have
soul
to.
Needs it.
And humans
it's
are always going to
cleansing.
Do it,
it's
know?
cathartic.
Like,
it's the way we process everything. I mean, just like what is the comedian formula? It's tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Right.
In most cases, of course, some things can't joke about. Same thing with music. Tragedy plus time equals song.
Right.
And we have to have it. We'll never stop. I don't think ever. And I think, you know, luckily, I think that live music, I said this when Napster came out and then iTunes took over and streaming became a thing, that live music will always be. And now I think it's just more important than ever.
That's right. And I think hopefully that will have like increasingly concrete examples on the ground, because that it's I agree completely. It's 100% true. Like live music is the thing that's always there, waiting for us when the next, like whether it's like, you know, putting music out on Instagram or like AI making it or like whatever it is, or like, you know, the focus on ad placements because that's where the money is. It's like when all those tides of how things are done and how the money gets made, and as those kind of keep washing and washing, the thing that's always there is like live music and
people in a room with vibrating waves.
And that's never going to go out of style. It's never going to go away. Like it's just not. It always feels like it's endangered. But I have complete faith that it's never going to go away.
We're up against a lot of problems in the live venue market that you talked about, and like some of it is really sad because I should have saved this video because I need to share it around to people so we can get the word out. But, you know, in the States, there's a lot of mid-level 400-seat standing room only places that are the bread and butter for bands like yours. Like you can make a living. You can make a life if you don't go, you know, like for instance, Will Prince, who we were talking about earlier. I love his ascension because I first saw him on a tweener stage at the Regina Folk. Then he came through here a few times. I saw him at McDougal. And the last time he was here, I didn't get to go, but he was at the Jube. So there you go, upward trajectory. Yeah. But for the rest of us, that might not be exactly what happens, but you can still play the Starlight rooms across Canada and still make a living. Right. Because those rooms are big enough to sustain, everyone gets, and you sell merch, and you're making a living. Yeah. But in the States, that's not good enough for companies like AEG and Golden Voice and all this giant conglomerate and Ticketmaster that owns everything. So they're buying those venues and apparently just shutting them down, which is evil and terrible. Yeah. Or they're just trying to run them out of business. It's like, well, wait a minute. You have your Taylor Swifts and your Jay-Z's and just do that. You're fine. Yeah, you have more money than anyone. Leave the rest of us alone. Yeah, let us also, and by the way, they're shooting themselves in the foot because that's where you find the next Taylor Swift. Right. Let that thing be alive and prosper and support musicians so that you can, you know, and then of course you hear things like if you have 50,000 or 75,000 followers on Instagram as a band or an artist, you get approached by, say, Capitol Music, and it used to be like, oh, do you want to sign on? And a lot of artists would read it and be like, you know, no, we're doing good. And so now if you say no, these labels are working with the, you know, the tech bros, and so they sideline, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, my video only got
Oh, wow.
204 likes where I usually get
Right.
5,200. So that's kind of evil.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know why they have
so
to
evil?
mess.
Why do
like,
they have to be so
there's
evil?
room enough for everybody.
Right.
Are you listening,
Like,
tech bros?
Not trying to edge in on your profits or anything. Like,
We can't even make a dent.
yeah.
You're charging $1,200 for a nosebleed obstructed view seat for a Taylor Swift concert.
Yeah, you're
How are
managing to
we gonna-
sell that? It's like, good on you. Go for it. Like, but just leave the rest of us alone.
You know, I defend high ticket prices because I tell people, well, where are you supposed to make money in the music business anymore? You can't sell records.
Right.
You can sell merch and tickets so at my little local coffee shop here, I told them about the Dream Car show at Chromosome that I did with you guys, because I'm friendly with all of them, and they're like, well, where are you gigging this weekend? And I told them, and they're like, oh, how much are tickets? And I said $50, and they balked. They're like, oh,
like for a
because
band
they're
I've never
all
heard
Gen
of?
Z, and I get it. But then I said, well, where do you think, artists are going to make money anymore? I go, you can thank I go, do you use Spotify? And they're like, well, yeah. I'm like, well, you're part of the problem. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. And I didn't say it that harsh, but that's basically what I said. And so then later, I went in after the show, and they didn't relent. They said, how was your show? And I said, great. They're like, even with the gouged price? I'm like,
Wow. Oh, so they think we're gouging. Oh, man.
isn't that amazing? And it's like, we're just trying to, like, you guys broke even on that. If you did, you probably still lost money because you paid everyone in the band well. I know I got paid well for those 2 nights. And so it's a losing proposition. Anyway, enough.
This could go
how do
on
you,
all
how do you get a musician to complain? Give them a gig, or her, or they. I mean, just give us a gig and we will find something to piss and moan about because, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. But I'm optimistic about it. I always feel, regardless of how many of these stories I hear about the tech giants twiddling the knobs and making things worse and worse and worse. Even now boosting a reel, because I boost reels because it's an expense that I can write off, and it does help get followers that are like my followers to my page interacting with my content. So I have that, that back and forth and the true interaction with them.
Wow, I'm very impressed. We're basically from the same generation, and you're way ahead of me. I can't
I
do
learned
any
from
of this
people
stuff.
that are younger than me, man. Harry's taught me a lot, and other people. But my goal was to get to 2,000 on Instagram on my own merit, which I did. And I said I would never sponsor an ad because what I thought was, it's just a click farm, and you can always tell people that have paid for their followers on a click farm because they'll have 1,700 followers, and then they'll post a picture and like 17 people like it.
Right.
So. But there is engagement because the people that I get from these sponsored ads are going to other videos. Oh, this is a really cool lesson. Thanks for posting. So that's what I wanted to see, and that's happened. So I still do it. And but Instagram will always tell you like, well, to get the most bang for your buck, you need to spend at least X. Other people with businesses like yours are spending this. And if you drag the bar below that, it will tell you, oh, you probably won't reach that many people then. Right. And so they're making you spend. And by the way, that number went up big time from the last time I boosted an ad, and it wasn't that long ago.
Wow.
So yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for taking my money.
Yeah.
But it's just, if I wasn't in music, I just wouldn't be on the socials because.
Oh no, me neither.
I mean, I think I would have my stupid Facebook page so I could see what my sister's doing. And my friends,
like,
and
it's nice to send people the birthday messages and
the birthday
stuff,
messages. And I've also reconnected with people that I hadn't seen since that I was looking for that finally showed up somewhere, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, there's that basic utility of it, but yeah.
By and large, ills. Black Mirror, they call it that for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, I always talk about how, 1984, the best thing they had in that book was a TV that could watch you. Now, I'm pretty sure that the oligarchs of the world have the first ever iPhone under glass, and they pray to it every morning, and they're like, yes, Thank goodness you came along,
Because
buddy.
now not only does it watch you, but it collects data on everything that you
everyone's
do,
looking
and
down and
like,
totally distracted all the time.
Yeah.
And you can just put your opinion and then start a firefight online, and break the internet. It's awesome. They love it. Well, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and we'll play a song. Everybody wants to hear a song. You want to hear Dana sing a song? Oh, wait, you can't respond to that.
We're going to do it.
We're going to do it regardless.
So,
yeah. All right. See you in a few minutes. I always have this feeling about halfway through that I didn't push record on the phone. And I can't see. I need a red light here. Oh, thank God.
Dear heart, bear nerve. I hope this is a good one for you. Fresh start, slow curve. Do I have to tell you that it's you? You nipping at your own heels. Blank slate. Well, too late. We all know that's bollocks anyway. Escape the past. At last, the past is not coming back, nor is it going away. If I were the crescent moon, I'd cradle you up in the stars that you came from. But I am not the crescent moon. Brother, ain't no doubt we're gonna have to sort it out down here on the earth, down here on the earth that you're made of. Dear friend of the end, I don't think I can go through that again. So dig in, begin when times made you too old for battle and pain too kind for worry. I wanted to tell you to go away, go off somewhere and make yourself foreign. Find some pretty natives to love you for being strange, but to rearrange the furniture will not make the whole place new. Gotta start with the earth. You gotta start with the earth that you're made of. All right. If I were the crescent moon, I'd cradle you up in the stars that you came from. But I am not the crescent moon. Brother, ain't no doubt we're gonna have to sort it out down here on the earth, down here on the earth that you're made of. Nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
What a great song.
Oh, well, you just played beautifully on it. What a treat.
That was nice. Yeah, let's do that again sometime.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, Ravenwood. So you guys have a lot of gigs coming up. I'm going to put those right here.
Wow.
Can you see them?
Technology.
What's
Yeah,
that?
I'm just going by.
That's
Like,
it. Look at that. But Ravenwood is July? Or?
July 11?
Oh, you even know the day. Oh, amazing.
I think I'm right about that.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. I really enjoy joining Secondhand Dream Car. Everyone is so unbelievably talented and cool and sweet and fun, and the songs are
love
just
having
great.
you.
Yay! All right, until next time, listen to music. Buy your music.
Go to live music.
Please. We need you. Only you can prevent the decortication of music. That was my best, what's his name? Smokey the Bear.